Hey guys, welcome back to the Gettin Gunn pod. Today I got my buddies Jake and DJ. Jake's the owner of AIM Fitness in Costa Mesa, who I had on my first podcast. If you didn't listen to that, please go give a listen and also rate the podcast. It really helps me out as well. And I have my buddy DJ, who is a former Marine who has now started his own carpet cleaning business. We get into the state of the U.S. with policing all the way up to COVID and some conspiracy theories. So we're going to have to do more of these because we could have talked about this forever. And our sponsor for today is no one. Because even though I have tens of listeners, no one has asked me to be a sponsor yet. So if you'd like for your business to be hyped up by my beautiful voice, let me know and I'll cut you a discount. Also, follow me on Insta at Gettin a Gun. DM me if you'd like to do a podcast together. I'd love to meet new people, and also if you have ideas for the show. I appreciate it and enjoy the show.
Yeah, I got excited.
Since college. Since Edward Scissorhand.
Edward 40 hand, I was going to say.
Yep,
was the last
yep.
time I think I did that.
What's that?
Edward 40, because you take 40s to your hand, and you can't take them off until they're gone, both of them.
I never
dope.
experienced that college.
Mine was in college. Mine was in the
We
Marine
can-
Corps.
You can
And-
do it right now if you want.
Yeah, but you do it with my
You can do it right now.
I can't do that. I have to drive home, and I'm smoking, but it's not working. Dude, we've done way worse.
I've already started it, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
But I thought like that little conversation would be a good starting point there.
we've done way worse.
So why'd you want to do this together?
What do you mean?
Do what together?
I think this is. I
what
think
are we
that
referencing?
if we don't create something that we have to get together as a group, then we won't. And certain individuals I want to be around and have in my life. So when it comes to stuff like this, like that's fun to me.
Yeah.
But you want to move.
Yeah, there's Skype.
There's Skype.
There's so much technology.
Hey,
that-
bro, you guys want to get around your computers tonight?
Sure, man. We can do that. I can do this over. I can do
Yeah.
this over Skype as well. That's cool. But where you want to go?
Probably Arizona. That's where we're looking.
It's not we. That's where you're looking.
Just for tax reasons.
She don't want to go there.
So you're starting a carpet business.
Yep, started the business. It's not really for tax reasons. I'm done with California. I'm done. I
Try to
love
talk-
the weather.
Try to talk a little closer to it.
I love the weather, but I am fed up with the politics, if you will.
Were you looking before everything? Because I feel like right now everybody's trying to leave California. Celebrity world-wise, as far as celebrities that I know, like obviously the Joe Rogans of the world, and like comedy people want to leave California because they can't do comedy here. Like you can't. I mean,
Nothing's
everything's shut down right now, so you
Right.
can't even go to the gym if you wanted to go.
So
to the
I
gym.
heard that things are actually going to start opening up. Did you guys hear that today? Something about the schools, something got like lifted to where now 14 days after this point, everyone can go back to school.
I heard-
I think things are going to start opening
I
up.
heard it changed to 21 days.
21
like you have to
days?
be like without so many cases or whatever for like
Right.
a week, and then you have
The
like
numbers had to like be falling or something like that.
and then like you have like a 14 days to keep showing that you're doing good, and
Right.
then you can reopen.
But I think we started that now, like today or yesterday.
My brother-in-law said it turned to 21.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt this because I have a problem with this. Have you realized that since this air quotes pandemic occurred, nobody has died from lung cancer? Nobody,
Weird, huh?
Nobody has died from alcoholism.
What do you mean?
There's no death since COVID has started that is due to lung cancer at this moment.
Says who?
Any medical board, any kind, just Google it.
You're saying
Google it.
that-
Look in research, do research on it, and find out.
They're just
How-
changing that stat to a
not
COVID-related
even that
death.
stat.
You're gonna be my conspiracy guy.
All
by
of
the way.
the it's not a conspiracy. It gets to a point where there's literal nurses that I do know that are in the hospitals that know for a fact that if somebody dies from lung cancer, they are instructed to put coronavirus as one of the reasons because the hospital gets paid for it.
Okay, so that's
I can see
that's
that.
different. So people are dying from it,
Oh, absolutely.
but what you're saying
no,
is
not dying from it.
No, no, no.
dying. People are dying.
no. What you said was you said no one has died from lung cancer. What you meant to
No,
say was
correct. No,
people
correct.
are dying from it.
But it's being categorized as
Yeah.
a coronavirus.
I heard
death.
that. I remember one of the when they were doing one of the White House
Right.
speeches. They're like, if somebody dies, and they have COVID, it doesn't matter what other underlying conditions they have, they died from COVID.
Right.
And then I also heard that like hospitals also get like a little bit more money if they have a lot of COVID deaths at the hospital.
So my big thing, my mom's really involved in this right now. So I have to do a lot of research so that when I do talk about it, I actually have some actual facts.
Okay.
But it just blows my mind. Like, if we watch the bubble of basketball right now, why the fuck are they wearing masks inside? If the bubble works and nobody's gotten the virus, why the fuck are they wearing masks?
Yeah.
They've all been together.
They've all been together. Yeah.
They're all getting tested.
They're not exposed to anyone else.
So what's the point? Right now,
I think it's all the other people that are going in.
No, they're not allowed to.
No, I meant like trainers.
No, nobody's allowed to leave. Nobody's allowed to come in. Anybody that's in that bubble has to stay there from the moment they've locked down until they leave.
Okay.
So nobody's in and out.
Okay.
Zero.
I
Why
agree.
are they wearing masks?
Make them feel better?
No, I think it's just a media perception thing.
No, it is to make other people feel better. Why
That's
the
what I'm
fuck
saying.
do I care about that? Why
It's-
do
it-
I care about?
It's
you
for people
feeling
at
better
home
when-
watching. Like, you want to
No.
see that.
No, because
there's
you
no
know,
other-
you know they are in a bubble. If they are in a bubble and you still
So
have
why do you think
these-
they're wearing them?
Oh, I think this is way bigger than what we think.
Okay.
I do. I think that this is.
Insert conspiracy man.
It doesn't even have to be conspiracy. Think about it. There is swine flu.
Yeah.
5 times the deaths than what we're currently at was never called a pandemic.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S.
Okay.
Why? Why was nobody scared?
What years was that? Swine flu?
Well, it wasn't that long ago.
It was 2 presidents ago,
Yeah,
because
well-
it's always the same year as a
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah,
election year.
wasn't
If
that
you
long
go
ago.
back, I promise you, it's always an election year. Ebola was one,
Yeah.
right? That was an election year. So this always happens when it comes up. And right now you got people that are in this safety bubble that people are still telling them to cover their mouths and to wear a mask. It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. They've changed every symptom of COVID to, you know, those commercials late night, like, if you have blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
take this. Side effects are anal bleeding, blah, 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 blah. It's like,
Jesus.
those are, yeah.
Stay away from those channels.
The side effects are worse than what you actually got. It's everything under the sun is COVID now because they can categorize it and they can make money off of it.
So how do they make money off it? When you were saying they pay the hospitals,
Hospitals are making money off of it.
how is that done?
So the government's paying them money every time somebody is infected with the virus or dies that's been on a ventilator. Here's the part that we'll get you want to talk about conspiracy theories. Pelosi's husband just bought like $5 billion worth of ventilators. Why?
$5 billion worth?
$5 million.
Oh, I thought you said $5 billion.
No,
I
$5
was
million.
like, God
Sorry.
dang.
I was like, is there
Million.
even that many?
Jeez, man.
Or 500 million. It's a really big number, and he's got them all. So we know that this virus is nowhere near what they said it was. It's not even close. It's lower than the flu. And the reason you know this is because if the bubbles and all this shit was actually working, the deaths from flu would be going up and down as well because of social distancing. It's the same thing. It's a virus. So why isn't that changing? Well, because nobody's paying attention to it, because this coronavirus, if we keep talking about it, just like BLM, just like the race, everything that's going on
But
right now.
get back to the ventilators. Why did he buy those?
He's invested in them. So now the hospitals need them, and they're going to buy them from him. Where else are they going to buy them?
Got it.
Yeah,
So
but
he's just trying to take over the
I also heard
market.
that it's actually worse.
That's what I heard. I
For
think
the
it was
person.
actually worse for when people who are on them.
because
But
you're
they're
not
yeah.
allowing your body
To learn how to breathe.
to learn how to
Right.
breathe. It's like, so once this machine takes over, it's like your body doesn't know how to breathe on its own.
I'm just not good with this whole.
So it happened before the Minneapolis and
Correct.
took off.
So did you guys hear about that too?
Oh, give it to me.
There's no.
I don't watch the news, so
they
this is
just-
all news to me.
Jake's like, what?
I'm in the
just came
garage.
out-
There's a
There's
coronavirus
a virus.
outside?
They just came out with Floyd's
The camera footage.
autopsy,
Yeah. Oh, the autopsy. I thought you meant
and there was no muscular damage to his neck.
Okay.
No.
None.
Is that not on the media at all?
Not at all. It's not covered. It was discovered in the autopsy that he had taken a fatal amount of fentanyl prior to the police showing up. So,
Okay.
Wow.
look, I do believe that there is a systematic racism that has gone through our country,
Yeah.
and that is a real thing. I do believe that.
Mhm.
I just think that there's quick thoughts, there's quick actions to things that people haven't taken into consideration. I think that being able to understand something from a point of view that you don't see is really hard to do. And it's hard to do at that moment. But if it comes out that the police officer actually had no fault in the death, and what he did do, it may be a horrible look, and it may be horrible as it is, but that position that he was in with his leg where it was, and the position, it's taught to you in police academies. That position to put your knee where it was.
On a neck?
It's at the base of the neck, absolutely.
So even like when they were training you guys on that, like, is there like
absolutely taught as how you do it. So
do you know there's like fatal repercussions of doing that?
While,
So
while handcuffed?
So no, that's hands on until. So he did that until he got. Now, when he got into handcuffs, he was unruly. He was still rolling. You can let him go at that point. The problem that I think that they had, and again, this is all that I think that they had from what I saw, was he's claustrophobic. So when he got in that vehicle, he could not handle it. So when he comes out on the ground, how do you control an individual that you have to keep safe for his safety and for yours? Because he's in handcuffs, he's now in your custody. So if something like him hitting his head up against something, you're trying to control him. And like I said, this position is taught to all police officers. This isn't something that's like, oh, this is new. It's something that you're taught. It's a compliance technique.
Yeah.
So I just think that there was quick actions. I think that we turned into defunding the police, which now what are you going to do? Like, I don't understand.
I don't think we should defund them, but I think
No way.
I think the money should be allocated to more proper training.
So, okay. So what is that proper training?
I'm not smart. Like, okay, I'm
So,
not.
No,
so,
I
but-
understand the reason I'm going to hit you with that is because.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
how long does it take to become a police officer? From start to finish. To being patrolling, I guess you could say.
That's hard to say because there's different avenues. So
Okay.
let's what we need
I want to be a
do is
police
go
officer, and I just got into the academy.
Yep.
So when?
About 6 months. In 6 months, you will be a sworn officer.
Okay.
But then there's still, like most jobs, there is a training period.
Yeah. On the job training.
On job training. So
Yeah.
you have to pass an FTO period. You have to pass your probation period. All these things you're being evaluated, right, as you're doing. So there's going to be a span where you're not even allowed to work alone. You have to have a supervisor with you.
You're still going on patrols, and you're just
You are,
not
but you're
alone.
learning, right?
Right,
So
right.
your job is, hey, I am a police officer. I'm the basic police officer. I know the
Right.
basic that I'm supposed to do. I'm going to learn the rest as I'm going, and I have to pass certain qualifications to do so. So let's say from joining academy till going to a call by yourself or going to a call.
Either.
Going to a call. Let's say that because that could be even.
Yeah.
I would say in most cases about 8 months.
Okay. And what about? So I think the biggest problem that we're having, like the biggest question is like, what kind of actual training are they having to apprehend somebody?
Right.
Like, because everything that's happened leading up to this, George Floyd to Michael Gardner, the guy that got choked out for like trying to sell like just loose cigarettes or whatever. Like, what is that training given to police officers?
So
Like, I understand there's some times where it takes like 5 guys to take someone down. Like, if you wanted to take me down and I didn't want you to take me down, like, I could fight pretty damn hard.
could you also say I'm not resisting while you're doing that? Like, is that possible?
Oh yeah, of course. And I guarantee, ever since what happened to George Floyd, that everyone's gonna say I can't breathe.
Right.
As
So
well.
here's another part to that.
But I'm not. But they also probably can't at the same time. So it's like one of those like who do you believe? Who do you trust?
So let's go. So let's play both hands. Let's say Have you ever been to a point where you were in MMA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is gonna be a great one.
Wrestling.
UFC, wrestling. And
Yep. I got wrestling. So
where
he has
you
MMA.
are being choked. Not so much in wrestling. You don't really get choked in wrestling. But let's say you're in there and you're getting choked out. You can't breathe. Can you say it or do you have to tap?
I got to tap.
Right. It is impossible to say anything if you cannot breathe.
True.
Police officers are also taught that at basic police officers.
Yeah.
Course. That if somebody is talking to you saying, I can't breathe, if they are talking, they're breathing.
Yeah.
Look, there's so many aspects to this that I don't think are viewed, right? I know you have a little bit insight on it just because I know your father and his history where, like, you don't understand the mindset that an individual has to be in to deal with the lowest 10% of the society at all times. So, I'm not saying you, but I'm kind of saying it to the general.
Like I would say most people agree. Like being a police officer is a super shitty job.
See, but I don't think that most people would agree. I think that
especially now, I think they would.
Well, I think I would say most people agree, but the loudest voices always come from the minorities.
Yeah,
of course,
true.
The minorities make the majority. Yeah, absolutely. Because you talk about the worst all the time. Yeah. That's what makes it look like.
It's like writing a Yelp review.
But
you hardly ever write a Yelp review for something that's really good.
Right.
You're always going to write it when it's really bad.
You only pay attention to the guys that have 1s and 5s. The dudes that are in the 3s, you're like, why do you even exist? Like, who writes a 3-star review? But when I like to talk about this kind of stuff, I like to go into every career path that there is. Every single one. There is a top 10%, and then there's a lower 10%.
Yeah,
no matter what. And that lower 10% is in every profession.
Yeah.
So it's been in the law enforcement profession. We just have cell phones that are cameras now. So everybody's got a camera on you. So these techniques and everything's been the same for so long that the way that they're applied to individuals, yes. Dude, choking somebody out is not something that we were taught. It's not. That is a dude that probably went through a BJJ class, got excited, and he went hands-on. But when you do that as a police officer and you don't stay within your policies, you should be in trouble, right? Yeah. So all those, and he did. He got in trouble. Look, when there's errors, like legit errors, we can pull up videos all day of individuals that are scared when somebody tells them, Philantro, I don't remember his name, Castillo.
I know who you're talking about.
That whole scene, I've watched it so many times. That I say scene because if you watch that police officer was so scared. His voice, oh man, the pitch in his voice, you can hear it. You go, look, when you're talking to someone and it's normal and then fear strikes in, it goes high pitch, you're breaking, it's bad. And he starts shaking and like that kind of stuff. Right there, he could have just froze the scene. Like, hey, don't move. Have somebody else come in, take it. The guys, like, there's so many different things. But if you're not trained to act that way, that's hard to be able to put anybody in that. I was in combat, and I had an individual that completely turned into a fetal position. What are you going to do? Nobody trained you for that.
Yeah.
This isn't something that's like, hey, we're going to... So you got to kind of see who you are at that point. And if you're dealing with somebody on their first time... Which a couple of those guys were in their first week in Minneapolis. Seriously, 2 of them were in their first week, which I'm sure they were trying.
Of the 4 guys that happened with
2
the George
of them
Floyd?
were in their first week of being police officers.
Wow.
Have you seen not to go crazy off topic, have you seen the conspiracy, like the people that are arrested aren't the same people?
No, but I will tell you my biggest conspiracy theory right now is going to be, it's way off the top. I think Hillary Clinton has a lot to do with this.
Wow. We can get there, but let's not go.
Got nothing but time.
Let's not go
and beers
right there. But I think, I think it's also a mixture of, like, there's bad people in every profession. Like they're just bad at their job,
right?
Because being a police officer is a job,
right? But look at high school teachers, right? Yeah. Look, everybody, look at the faces. Oh shit, yeah. Some of them sleep with their students. That's not a very good teacher, right? No, they're shit people.
No. There's the Tim Dillon, the guy that I told you to look up.
Yeah.
He was like, if we were giving so much crap to the cops that were bad and killing people, like why aren't we giving shit to the teachers that are failing students?
But here's another. I mean, like our entire system right now is not accurate, and that is so generalized. Like we put dogs down for biting humans, specifically kids. If they bite a child once, it's like, hey,
later.
Yeah.
Human beings
Human beings
get sent to jail for like 10 years if you assault a child sexually, like that kind of stuff. Like our system's broken, and that kind of stuff, and the police force. Like,
but I feel like it's the most broken towards the police force, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't.
But don't you think that's just right now because that's what they have us focusing on?
I can't even picture most people thinking of cops as being positive, which is sad. I certainly in the past have never thought, oh, cops are great. They're here to help us. I think it's just as a society we think about them as being negative figures.
Like
whereas
almost every time, like if you see a cop on the freeway, what's your
like,
first
oh,
instinct?
shit,
I gotta slow down because they're gonna pull me over.
It's just
they're
it's sad though. That's the way we think. You know,
like
Okay,
because I think also
why?
a lot of people have also been kind of like.
But if you were driving the speed limit your entire life and you've never ever practiced driving over the speed limit, if you were, if you were conditioned to drive the speed limit at all times. In California, we're all conditioned to drive 80. No matter what it is, we just drive fast.
It could be 65 or we're going 80.
We're going 80.
Yeah.
But if you were conditioned to drive 65 all the time, you would see a cop on the side of the road and you know what you would do? Not give a flying fuck because you're doing the speed limit. The reason we all go, fuck, I need to slow down is because we're all speeding. No matter what you say.
Yeah,
you
of
get
course.
that.
But it's also little like.
But that's not...
Angel, my wife she got a ticket for. She came to pick me up from work. We pulled out. I was working at a mall location at that time, and she kept the car on but turned the lights off when she was parked, waiting for me. And she forgot to turn it back on. So we got onto the street, like literally as we got onto the street.
Turn on lights. Or
No.
he was waiting.
Yeah,
That's a big sign for DUI.
and gave
What
us
time
like
was it? Was it late at night?
8:00,
Still
and gave us like it was like a $230 ticket.
oh, dude.
Oh, he wrote the ticket.
He wrote the ticket. So it's small things like that, and like
That get
Man, okay, so I agree with that. Like that. So the issue now. Let me hit you with something.
Yeah.
You have no idea what that dude just came from.
of course.
totally.
Right? So you don't know if 2 days ago, out of that same place where somebody had no headlights came out and hit a 5-year-old girl and killed her.
Right.
And his eyes, he's like, I'm never going to let that happen again.
Yeah.
So he's stopping to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Where his stance on that, from his point of view, is I'm making sure another little girl doesn't get killed. And the only reason I can say this is because I had this experience with a stop sign. Like, I'm really weird when I was a police officer with pulling the stop signs. And then I had an incident happen that changed everything about it, right? Because you have a lot of freedom of decision, police discretion when you make a traffic stop, when you are arresting someone. You really do. So the discretion is a very big part of that job. So if I dealt with an individual that was hit at a corner and you keep running that stop sign at that corner, I'm going to start writing at that corner because it's going to start, okay, people are going to start talking about it. It's going to start getting out there. And now I've stopped what was happening. But from your point of view, you just got...
fucked me.
I got a petty-ass ticket.
Yeah.
But guess what you won't do? You will not drive out of a fucking parking lot with your headlights off.
But guess what
But
I
if
will
it's
do?
just an
I will
accident-
pay more on my insurance now
Yeah, just
because of that, and I got to pay that ticket because of that, and now I'm gonna have a bad taste in my
Yeah.
mouth forever,
that multiplies.
almost forever.
Okay.
yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So does the bad taste in your mouth outweigh the 5-year-old girl that could have been hit the next time?
But
Yeah,
that-
but you
I-
said the
I-
discretion.
But if
though,
we're
like
always,
he-
but if
he
we're
has an
always going
honest
to go that way,
conversation to just say like, "Hey, what happened?"
Yeah, but
He could
but that's not on them to explain why you broke the law. What you guys are
Yeah,
getting
but you
to
said
is
a
it's still-
DUI. So if he thinks it's a DUI, he's gonna smell something. He's gonna observe something.
No,
He's
it's
not
just a
smelling or
sign.
observing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that could
Pull
have
him
been why.
over, but then don't write the ticket. We're totally fine.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is you don't know if he came from that same parking lot or from another parking lot where someone came out without their headlights, and without their headlights on, they didn't see the adult, the kid, the person that was standing there, and they killed them. So in their head, they're going, hey, I can stop this from happening by making sure that even as soon as they hit the road, that when they have their lights off, they can't see as well with their lights on. I'm going to stop them. I'm going to give them a ticket. This is the first person I'm stopping since I worked that accident. I'm going to they're going to start understanding you don't do that here.
But for me, like what would have stopped me from ever doing it again besides the ticket was, hey, I looked up, you've never been pulled over, you've never gotten a ticket before. But it's going to show that I pulled you over and told you this. So the next time you get pulled over, you're going to receive this ticket because of it. Perfect. I know now going forward, I will never have my lights turned off because this guy told me and I had a one-time accident just because I just forgot.
Well, it was amazing words of one great leader that I had, Steve Stonehouse. Not everybody's you, man.
Yeah.
Just because you feel that way doesn't mean that the next person's going to feel that way.
Okay.
But the one thing that police officers
and the same thing for my feeling towards that police officer.
Totally,
no, that's exactly true. So, it's a double edged. No matter what, because you have this feeling, you have this feeling. Yes, there is customer service to policing, but the protection is the most important. So if I'm protecting, my customer service is not as important as me protecting. And in my community, an individual was just struck by an individual who didn't have their headlights on and didn't see them. In my community, maybe it's even above him at that point, because it is possible where they say, hey, we are writing anybody that does not have their headlights on because this happened. So you may be in the middle of a situation where you're getting a ticket, which you still... Like, the baseline of all of this is it's still against the law. They're stopping you for something that was not legal.
Yeah.
So there's still something that happened. It's not like they're doing it for the glee of it for fun. It's, hey, we're seeing something that we're put on alert for. We're seeing it. We're going to stop it, and we're going to cite it.
But also, nowadays, social media, there's only two spectrums of videos that you see of police. It's the George Floyds of the world, and then there's the playing with kids, the playing with kids, saving the dog in the car, like actually chasing down saving a predator, like one of those things.
Absolutely.
And in my head, I'm like, well, I hope I get this person over here. That's kind of like,
okay, but don't you kind of do that? Let's say when you were in high school and you walked into your teacher's class and you had no idea what you were going to get, and you was on both ends of the spectrum, and you were like, well, I hope I get this, but if you end up with this, you end up with this. It's people. Like,
going back to the training aspect, I would say not even training on techniques of how to handle situations, just more about like training the good side of the person. And like, yeah, they're still selling themselves to the American public. Like, they have to win over the public, otherwise the shitstorm was self-inflicted. Like, you have to win us over.
If I was going 95 to 100, I expect this guy to pull me over and give me some shit.
Yeah, now, but your guys' expectations aren't the expectations of others.
Well, maybe. Like so, should I lower my expectations?
I believe that nobody should have any expectations when it comes to anything when you have to deal with that, because there's an understanding of, look, a law enforcement officer at any given moment, we are told when we sign for our driver's license, if we are stopped, we have to stop for them, right? So they are an authoritative figure. No matter whether we like it or not, just like a teacher, a principal, a coach, they're all authoritative figures, right? So as a general population, if we respect that, just the authority, don't have to respect the individual at all. You follow what is exactly asked of you. You don't have to have your own agenda. You don't do anything of those things. It's dealt with very calmly. You have nothing to deal with. But we're talking about individuals that are coming... I wish every day I could come home and I would come back to work and I would just be like, hey, I pulled you over. I'm so sorry. You were going a little fast there, but slow down. But I just got off a murder case, or I just got off a suicide, and I'm tired and I'm irritated and I didn't sleep well. And there's so many aspects of the profession that are human variables that you can't replace, and you're gonna always hope to get the best out of someone. Yeah. Always, you're always gonna want to have a police officer that. Look, the majority of police officers are amazing individuals, but you got shit ones, and they're always gonna come out. You're always gonna see them, just like the bottom 10% of teachers, the bottom 10% of football players, the bottom 10% of anything will always show. So we just are dealing with a lot of.
They're just under a microscope. Exactly. I just feel like they got to do a better job at.
But I don't think that they have to win you over, because here's the reason.
They don't have to, but like, I think it's smart to. That's it.
No, I agree. We should be friendly. But like, I don't understand what happens. What happens in Minneapolis right now when there's a murder?
Fuck, dude.
No, what happens?
Isn't like half the police defunded or something right now?
Okay, yeah. I mean, There's cities right now where police are saying, "Hey, we're not even going in."
Yeah.
I want to say it was Baltimore that I saw one. There was a shooting, and it was just.
It was Seattle for a while. They
Well,
like
they
made
walked off,
they
but-
made their own like city.
It just
It's
blows
crazy.
my like. I don't know, man. This is crazy. It's so crazy, and like.
And I think it's like I said, we see the worst, the ends of the spectrum at the best and the worst. We never see the middle. That happens all the time, where it's like, oh, I lost my phone. Can you help me find my phone? And they actually help me find my phone. Like, cool, this guy helped me out. But then I think a lot of times as well, when it is on the other end of the spectrum, like a cop kills somebody, and it's like actually, like, I'm gonna say hypothetically because I can't think of an example. Cop killed somebody, shouldn't have died. Like that guy hypothetically shouldn't have died, but the cop sometimes just gets off for being a police officer.
Okay.
Like and I don't know the reason why, or maybe gets 5-10 years or probation or sometimes they just get like you're fired from this department and they just go to another city and get hired on as another police officer again. And I think people see those as well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, and this kind of stuff is.
It's not an easy topic. And
It-
there's no
so
right or
it's-
wrong answer. I'm just saying.
No. So the part of this that I love talking about this stuff because it gets me to a point where it goes, okay, so let's talk about an accidental shooting.
Okay.
Let's legitimately an accidental. So there's a difference between an accidental shooting and a shooting that occurred that the individual shouldn't have died in, but they still died.
Yep.
Right. So there's two different scenarios there. The accidental, hypothetically. Here, there's one that just happened in Arizona. I don't remember the individual's
Still
name.
want to move there?
No,
Could've
so
been you.
listen. So Arizona's an open state, open carry state.
carry?
So individual, this is the part that's really crazy. The neighbor calls for noise complaint, and they have that all listed for you to read. And they go, "Well, is it violent?" And he goes, "Sure, if that gets you here fast enough, yeah, it's violent. It's really bad."
Is it the white guy?
So
Holy shit.
they show up and they knock on the door. It's like 9:45 or 8:45 at night. It's dark. He opens the door in Arizona in his own dwelling with his pistol in his hand.
In his hand?
In his hand. He answered. It's down by his side, by his thigh.
But he was actually had his hand
answered-
on the gun.
He was holding it. He's in his
Yeah.
own.
No, I know,
hold
I
on,
get
hold
it,
on. So
but-
hold on. I'll go there. As soon as the police officer saw the gun, he said, "Gun pulled the gunshot." So that is a no go.
Yeah.
And reason for that. Okay. So let's every shot that you take, you have to have OIC. Opportunity, intent, and capability. Okay? So the guy standing there with his weapon, he had the opportunity because he had his gun. He had the capability because he had his hand, he had a gun, and it's right there. Now, did he have intent? Was there any show that he was going to shoot? No, he just answered. Now, did this police officer get off? He did. He was not arrested. He's
They
not going
suspend him
anywhere.
with pay while the
But
investigation.
here's why.
God, that's such a tough case.
But here's why, right? So you already started going
That's
there.
so tough.
If a police officer can articulate that when he saw the gun, he felt that individual raised his hand and began the intent to shoot him. Well, opportunity, intent, and capability all were met there. Now, did it happen? No. But that comes with the follow-on story. So how do you make that decision? Now, if you are, you can only imagine that he probably hasn't been in that situation very often. He probably hasn't had a weapon point or around him that wasn't law enforcement held. So with that all happening, he did fear for his life, which isn't okay on our standards.
Yeah.
But as a police officer, if you fear for your life, you have the authority for deadly force. So articulation, I say that word a lot because that's what it is. So if you can communicate to your leadership and those above that when you open the door and a weapon was presented and you called it out and you pulled and shot, how can they say that's a bad shoot? You feared for your life. So when it came out further that his girlfriend walks into the room and goes, what happened? We were playing video games. The neighbor wanted to go to bed, so he was trying to get them to get there hurry. They're thinking they're in a domestic violence, which is one of the scariest calls to go to, one of the highest deadly rates for police officers. So you're already on edge, and now you show up to these individuals that are playing video games. So, good shoot. You can't say. You don't know what that dude felt. So when feelings get involved in this, it's
happening in a split second. I mean, you're just making a freaking
seconds. So for other people to make judgments on this is like really difficult to see. It's like watching a professional sports athlete do something that you could never imagine doing, and then critiquing it in your easy lazy boy chair.
You get to rewind, replay it.
You know, the guys, I would have joined the Marine Corps, but I would have yelled at my drill instructor. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have. But whatever. It's like those kind of things. But that is it. I love the subject. I'm out of law enforcement now because I didn't like the politics. I would say
it's the same thing with George Floyd right now, because I think the big thing right now is, do they charge him? I don't know how the degrees work, but there's like, do we charge them with first degree or second degree? And the biggest difference is like, one is intent, one is without intent.
All right, so let me ask you, if it came out that the autopsy said the police officer had, and I'm not saying that it will, I'm just saying if it came out and said, hey, nothing that police officer did could have caused his death. Nothing. Because they've already come out with it was the fentanyl that killed him. So if they're saying that he didn't, so how do you charge them? Or is that even going to, like, what happens at that point? Then you have another uproar. Then you have another. So, look, man, this leads into so many different things, because I can go into, like, the Dave Chappelle thing that happened, because I can go into what's happening with police officers, or with everything that's going on in entertainment world, and the...
what about the time? Because you said Dave Chappelle, so it makes me remember his,
and I knew
the 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 8
minutes 46 seconds.
That was a stand-up he did, right?
It was a sit down that he kind of had, but
I saw part of that and I was like, this is
so
a weird tone to
was the
it.
amount of time. Well, it's the first addressing of the George Floyd in a public space.
Yeah.
Since
where was that at?
Ohio.
His own, like,
it was like down the street from where he lives. He lives in Ohio.
Yeah, he lives on a farm or something.
I did watch that. It was interesting.
Look, I truly believe that so many people speak from an I don't want to say uneducated. I want to say an uninformed position. Thank you. Yeah. They're coming from an uninformed position. So if you're coming from an uninformed position, you're always going to have a view that's tinted no matter what, until you understand the other side of that. Mm-hmm. So when you can put somebody in the shoes of a police officer, of a veteran, of a personal trainer, of a salesperson, of a general manager, you don't understand the job until you've done the job.
Yeah.
So to be able to say, hey, you shouldn't have done that. Like,
yeah.
Look, now, are there things that are clear as day? 100%. You should not shoot anybody in the back. Period. Yeah. No matter what. If somebody's running away from you, unless they are going to cause harm to somebody else, right? Like, I tell people all the time, like, you don't know. So here, I'll give it to you like this. Let's say you walk into the room. Let's say you go home. And, no, I don't want to say go home. You got to walk in. Let's say you go to work. Let's say everything's back open. You walk into work. There's an individual, two coworkers, a male and a female, okay? You go in there, and he has a bat. And it's clear that he's hit her once already with her. She's crying. She's doing everything. The bat is down by his side. You are CCW. You have your concealed carry weapon. You have it on you. Or let's say you're a police officer. Mm-hmm. Let's say you're there. You're now a police officer. You get this call. You show up. Do you shoot him? He's standing over her.
Yeah, but what if he slightly raised the bat and I have
I'm asking, look, what I'm saying is he's standing there. She's there like this, arms up, screaming, no, no, no. He's there. Bat is right there. He's screaming. You're giving commands. You're like, hey, he's not paying attention, not paying attention. And he's there with the bat. Do you think that you should shoot?
So he's an officer or he's a civilian?
Both of you. I'm saying you guys are both.
No, I know. Are we civilian? Oh, we're officers.
You're the officer in the situation.
Mm-hmm. But don't you? It's a very different situation because he said he had a bat.
It's a bat, yeah.
Because if it's a bat, don't you have? I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have your other.
No, but what I'm trying to do is get you guys to a level where I agree with everything you guys are saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
So keep going. So
you have your stun gun. You have your baton. You have something else.
Okay, but as a police officer, you're always yes. You are absolutely correct. Yeah. Here's what you're taught as a police officer: whatever they have, you're one step above.
Okay.
Okay. So
is the stun gun not one step above a bat?
No, and here's why.
Really?
Can you die from a stun gun? Yes. No, you cannot. You have to have some kind of issue for
That's what I'm saying. If you had an issue, you could probably die from it.
Right, but as a norm, what you're taught as a stun gun is less than lethal.
Okay.
Is a bat?
Depends on where you hit it.
Exactly. So at any point, that can be a lethal weapon, which means I need to be above a lethal weapon. So you just answered that without... Look, you guys were both like, what the... Because it's not. And it's only not because of the way it's said, right? It's less than lethal. A bat at any second can become a lethal weapon if it's swung at the head, if it's swung at certain spots.
So now we're at basically the same thing that happened to the Arizona guy.
Everything's a decision.
We're in the exact same situation as the Arizona guy was in.
But then go to the next conversation. It will be you are in the exact same position as the guy from Arizona and the guy from they're all the exact same because you're making immediate decisions that are life altering within seconds and having to back that up off of what you're doing.
Would there be a difference if the Arizona guy, I don't even know. Yeah. But let's say he shot him once versus he unloaded his rounds.
Look, I will tell you this, and nobody I say.
Did he unload it?
I don't know, but what I'm saying, like, what if you if you did? I think it would also be very different if you shot once, or like I'm saying there's a different perspective versus shooting once versus shooting like 5 or 10 times.
Yeah. So no. And the reason I say no is because yes, if I was in a situation where on a daily basis I was in Iraq or Afghanistan and I was on a regular combat and we got into firefights daily and it was a pop, 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 and I got used to my trigger control and I got used to how often I was pulling my trigger, yes. Now, let's put you in the most exhilarating situation you could ever be in. Your life is on the line right in there, right there. Mm-hmm. There's no way you even understand how many times you're pulling that trigger. Mm-hmm. I'm taught when I was in the Marine Corps to do a magazine change on my weapon. You don't even use your fingers because you lose fine motor skills when you're in this zone. So you're taught to just hit with your palm and pop up because that's how your hands are going to work. You're not going to be able to these fine motor skills to grab things. So you're now fearing for your life, pulling your gun, pulling the trigger. All you're thinking is stop.
But I would also trust you as a former Marine who's gone through, I would say, way more training than the 8 months it took another officer maybe.
Okay, but how long did it take me to become a Marine that was allowed to go fight for our country?
I don't know how long.
12 weeks.
Okay. And then how long were you a Marine?
8.5 years.
8.5 years.
So it took me 3 months. And that's the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. In the Army, it's 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Right? So you're telling me that's where things are. That's why I said the system's wrong. No matter what you look at it, you're telling me, okay, I can go fight for our country. You're telling me I am old enough to go fight for our country. You're willing to put me out on the line for everything that we're saying, which is cool. Okay. You're going to teach me how to shoot. You're going to teach me how to do this. But now you're going to double that time to make me a police officer and teach me the laws because you already taught me the combat stuff because you can do that to your to your military. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we look at these things. And then, dude, yeah, barbers take a year to become a barber in the state of California.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Barbers start cutting hair as soon as they know how to cut hair. They don't get licensed for a year. That doesn't mean they're not in there cutting hair. They're just not cutting it legally, or they're doing it under an apprenticeship. All the things that are like, no, man. Like,
but still, to get your license, it takes 1 year.
But they're still in there cutting hair. So you would rather somebody be a police officer that's on trying to become a police officer without their license yet, because they're still cutting hair. It's not like they're not cutting hair. They're doing on-the-job training.
I don't get that analogy.
So if it takes me a year to be a barber,
okay,
right, because I'm doing on-the-job training,
yep.
You want a police officer that's going to go on-the-job training for a year to get his license? Because he's still being a police officer.
Okay. I don't know if that's a really good Because
The only reason I brought up barbers, that's the one thing that keeps getting brought up all the
I
time.
see that. I see that a lot.
Let's say it takes a year to be a police officer.
Okay.
The year to become a licensed barber, from the moment that they really can cut,
Yes.
until that year, they're
practicing cutting hair.
No, they're getting paid. They're doing everything that they would. Okay, we'll say practicing, but they're getting paid as a barber.
Okay.
So we're gonna have somebody become a police officer.
Okay.
Get paid as a police officer, do all the job, do all the duties of a police officer, but they aren't allowed to be a police officer or licensed police officer for a year. So what do you call that during the year? Because if those individuals that are barbers get in trouble within that year, it falls on whoever they're apprenticing with, or it falls on whoever their instructor is. So we're going to now put...
Yeah, I mean, I see that a lot, but I still don't agree it's a good analogy because one person just cuts hair, the other person can carry a gun. And
no, but that's what I'm saying. People say it takes longer to become...
Yeah, I see the argument a lot where, and if we're just talking about it takes a year to become a barber versus it takes... 6 months to actually be in the academy. Like, hypothetically, yes,
But the academy for cutting hair is what, once a week?
Okay.
So, but you got to go be a police officer 4 to 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So why should that have to be out a whole year? When, I mean, like, it just doesn't add up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about the skills to be a barber, if you went to barber school and it was actually like, hey, like a Monday through Friday,
yeah,
it probably wouldn't be a year.
Probably not.
So if you're in a CHP has a 6 month, you have to live at the academy. You have to live at the academy. You're in school for 9 months, right? Mm-hmm. And that's honestly not counting all the vacations. So you're really only in school for 7 months. So you're expected to go a whole year into school after 7 months of learning, but you shouldn't be like, you went through a school to become a police officer.
I also know like most police officers, most of their money's in overtime. Like, if not.
I mean, in the old way that it was set up,
yeah.
Absolutely. It was, you made a ton of money in overtime.
You made your bank in overtime.
Absolutely.
It's like,
but then again, think of like that whole system is... Man, could you imagine loving what you do and going like? And you got to understand, there's police officers that absolutely just love what they do.
Yeah. And there's police officers who
despise it.
Yeah. And then they have one bad day, or the other way around. People just love it, and they're just I'm sure there's just, like you said, there's bad people in the world, and there's one guy out there just like wants to say like, I want to pull somebody over today so bad.
So bad, bro.
Someone's going to get it. I had a bad day yesterday.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
And I'm going to
think some get excited over
I'm going to make my day better by making his day
like all
worse.
the cops that come around here, even though like they were trying to bust us for like our not having our home occupation permit for Santa Ana, we have our business license but not the permit. They're all cool, and like we always they drive by, we always like want to come work out. Like I love it. But then you'll get like one cop who like this is probably 2 months ago. Like I did like the most minor of minor rolling stops, and like yeah, he gave me a fucking ticket. And I'm like,
but that's the law, Jake.
I know. I was like, you're an asshole.
There's
the cop busting me. No, totally. And I was like, hey, I did something wrong. I understand it, and I'll take it. But I just don't think that's right. Like you're getting a bad. Why? Because you
just said it, and I'm not trying to be. I'm not against you in any way. What I'm saying is, because
I'm not
verbally just said, I know I messed up. I did wrong.
I did right,
but I don't like.
But if you're fighting the battle of is this kid? Did he do something wrong? Was there intent to do something wrong? Nah, I should let him off. Versus this guy's a bad dude. I think you can decipher. I'm not saying they're morons and they can't.
No, I disagree, and it's okay to disagree. I completely have been in the experience of. Dude, we do not, for the most part, you can't make the decision based on the individual.
But I think
I know that sounds fucked up, but you're taught you need to have a decision whether you're going to write that ticket or not before you go up to the car. Now,
why is that?
Because you don't want to be.
But you already said they have discretion.
Look, right?
So it's you have the discretion.
But you're right. You're trying to go from one to another, right? So he has the discretion. His discretion is, hey, but it's cop by cop difference, right?
Yeah, but it's like
that's what I don't like about it.
It's like you just getting.
You can't make it. You can't make that. You're human beings. You can't make it. Hey, everybody gets one morning and then this. Everybody gets. You can't do that.
But let's put it in perspective. Like, you just got your new truck and you got a pretty good deal from what you were saying.
Yes.
Like, hypothetically, let's say your car was supposed to only get $5,000 trade in, but they gave you $8,000.
Yep.
Like they did something like that. I would say it's kind of the same thing as him getting pulled over at that stop sign. We're like, look, I could have given you this, but I'm going to do this in the hopes that you like me more.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. Oh, man. Can you
in a police officer's head, like if I mainly patrol hypothetically an area, right? I would want them to like me. Like, I would want to, oh, like, hey man, like, you know me. You
guys don't, but this is understanding that you guys don't understand, like, there's different departments of, like, I know you understand.
I got a certificate online for being a police officer.
I'm just saying.
I went to online police school.
There's parts of this where there's traffic police officers, okay? Their division is traffic, where all they do is traffic incidents. Look, I was a traffic investigator.
Yeah.
I hated my job as a traffic investigator. It sucks. You know what you do? You're CHP. All you do is pull traffic and write tickets. That's your job. If your job is to pull people over,
so no one likes you.
Hold on. Yeah. Guess what? That's gonna happen. But guess what also happens? The fucking death rate of whatever you're pulling goes down. So if you're pulling for stop signs, no matter what, maybe he's got it in his fucking testicles that day, that week, anybody that runs that stop sign is getting a ticket, period. Because it's going to stop it in his area.
But how would it stop it? My isolated case, like, is that really gonna?
Why are you isolated? Because you think you're isolated. He may have pulled 7 fucking cars after you.
But it's not
thing.
like I'm going online and saying, "Hey, everyone, by the way, we should all stop doing this." Like,
but they will. You will slow down.
But I've never told anyone I got pulled over at those streets. So how would that carry on to the next person?
You will. So going forward, you will not do it.
I would like to say that, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
But that's the purpose of it.
I just don't think it works.
I think there's other. Fine. It works for some people.
Yeah, I just think there's other avenues.
What is it?
If you want,
what is the cost benefit ratio?
Yeah,
of it could have been for him.
No. This week overall is the cost benefit ratio of giving him a $200 ticket for that. Is it better for him in? Let's say he's a high profile celebrity nowadays. Like, if you have 1,000+ followers on Instagram, you reach a pretty good amount of people in your area. Like, what if you decided to say, like, this guy right here got his card, got everything, and put it online to be like, if you see this guy, he pulled me over and gave me a $200 ticket for barely rolling a stop sign.
So you're going to get a 50-50. You're going to get the individual who said, you rolled the stop sign? And be like, yeah, okay.
I just don't think...
Do you think...
I don't think it's 50-50.
No.
I would 95.
Yeah.
It's like... That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, man, what an asshole.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not arguing that there is a perception that absolutely can go on the opposite view. I do.
And
the problem is I have
also
the experience of both ends of this going where I absolutely can... And I'm not saying that
And I have the experience of most of my family being police and them getting pulled over and getting let go for almost everything because, like, okay, man, you're
you don't...
even though you did the exact same thing.
Yeah, okay. Look, now we're going into something that's just like, it's like
giving your buddy a discount.
It's the employee discount. Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, I work at this. You work at this. Like, hey, it's a protection of each other. Yeah, you don't want to hurt each other. Now, should it go past small infractions? No, I don't agree with that. Should it go to those infractions? No. I mean, to be 100% honest, because could you imagine if you were a police officer and you got pulled over and you wrote that stuff and he wrote you? Like, it's fair. It's what was supposed to happen. Right. The problem is we are all entitled. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. We don't have to argue, and I can understand that there's a point of view. Everybody's fucking entitled.
I think you should
believe you should be nice to me.
I think it's also read the room type of feeling. Mm-hmm. So especially like right now, read the room.
Somebody that's doing their job.
It's just hoping, not expecting.
Exactly.
You're wanting it. Yeah. But it's not only
then
for
you're
me.
Saying he should.
Huh?
But yeah, it's what you're hoping. But then you said he should have, because that would have gotten something. Now that you can hope. Hey, I hope that this happens. I do hope that the police are nicer. But if my job is to only pull for traffic violations, Like, your job is to make somebody stronger or lose weight or whatever. If that is your job and you do it, it can't be something that we get upset at. Like, we can't. Is it in your job description? Yes. Did you do it? Yes. Was it wrong? No. Were you accurate? Yes. If all those check for him, he did the right thing. Whether it impacted your day or not is not on him. He's just saying, hey, you broke what they told me to enforce. And here you go. It's not him giving you a $250 ticket. It's the state. Go to Alabama. It's like $3 to run a stop sign there. Right? Like,
run them bitches all day.
Exactly. So we're putting blame on individuals that should be blameless. These individuals that are just, they're boots on ground that just go to what they're supposed to.
No, I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that, like, whoever trains the officers, they could do a better job of just changing the whole system to, like, let's not make it we're going to collect revenue today. Let's just try to win over the American public and have it be known that we are trying to help and not hurt them. Because I don't care. It's like, it's not a lot of money to me. I don't give a shit. But, like, to the next person, like, there's not many people who think like us. Like, in all honesty.
Agreed.
You know, I had all the former coworkers, like, they would be pulled over and they'd be fucking pissed. Whereas I'm like, fuck it, I did it wrong. I know, that's fine, you know? So I'm just...
But that pisses the entitlement. Like, they're
It is, but are you going to try to change 300 million, or let's just try to change the cops? I think the chances are higher that you change the cops, the one inflicting, versus the ones perceiving the information.
And I do disagree with that, and that's okay, because it's going to be an aspect of...
It's just a simple numbers game. You want to change the minority or the majority.
Right, but they may be wanting to change the majority to something else. You may be thinking it's about hearts and minds, and in their eyes, it's, hey, our murder rate in Santa Ana has gone down 10%, or our vehicular accidents that cause death have gone down a certain amount because we're enforcing all these things. So there's things that you're not apprised to that are going to happen that we're going to make judgments on that we don't know. So you're going to be, like you said, hey, I'm frustrated. Like, that's stupid. Other people are going to be pissed that they got pulled over and got a ticket for rolling the stupid stop sign. When in their eyes, they're like, yo, you are a statistic, by the way. You are. You're one of
we all are.
The 5,000 that they wrote that month. But now they can do a data analyst and go, hey, when we wrote 6,000, speaking from only my personal experience, I could not tell what ethnicity you were. I don't care. Like, I was looking for certain things. I enjoyed hunting for DUIs. I loved it. It was one of my favorite things to do. I don't care what you are. If you're breaking the law, like, at that point, like, it was fun for me. It was like a hunt. But no,
let's go back to where because you said there actually is systematic racism.
No, I do agree with that. And the reason that I say that is I think that the United States has always had racism. Like, go to any other country, it's nowhere near as bad as. I mean, we've all traveled outside this country.
Yeah.
Racism, like, is not even close to what it is here. Now, look, I think that media is.
I'm sure there's racism all around the world, but we're
So yes, but what I'm saying is the racism isn't.
Like what is it? The Uruguay and China right now? They're just getting like shuttled into concentration camps, basically.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Like that's what I'm saying. There's areas around the world, but right. Our news cycle is only telling us.
But it's really profound. Like, you can come to the United States as a visitor, and you'll see it quickly, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you'll know. You'll be like, oh. Okay.
I don't know if you'd see it, though. Do you think so?
See, I told my brother-in-law the other day, I was like, I can't remember actually seeing
I don't think I
racism,
see it.
But he's like, yeah, you probably never seen it, but it's like
it's subconscious. You're seeing
not
it without seeing it.
What's not an offhanded comment? Oh God, what's the freaking name for it?
Look on the interweb.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now.
That's serious. She knows everything, man.
But yeah, he's like, when he took it's like he got pulled over, and he's like, just because he was probably black.
I disagree with that.
Like,
for me, I can't.
For his feeling,
everybody.
like but he was like.
But if you're so every time I get pulled over, I'm gonna say I got pulled over because I'm white, because I feel like I'm white and I got pulled over. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, these kind of things are just asinine.
But if you said there's systematic racism,
so I do, and the reason I say that, so I think that the punishment for things that happen are worse for
like the
ethnic minorities,
like the drugs, like you were holding like marijuana.
Not only that,
10 years.
you could have. Truthfully, you could have. I believe, because I can't give fact, but I do believe that you could have a white female that gets arrested for a certain crime. She goes in. She can be go through the process, and she gets sentenced.
There's a name for affluenza. Affluenza, I think they called it.
Okay.
Affluent person, like someone who has.
So she gets 10 years. I truly believe, and I've seen it in movies, and I know that is a horrible use for facts, but I know that it's happened to the fact where same exact crime could be with an African American male, and he could get double, if not more, time. Like, that is systematic oppression. Like, that is racism.
But I was saying affluenza is a psychological malice. Malice, there you go. Supposedly affected wealthy young people, symptoms of which include a lack of motivation, feelings of guilt, or a sense of isolation. So basically, they were so wealthy that they didn't know they were doing something bad. And they could use that in the court to get away with something. Okay, what happened with Hillary?
Don't you think it's weird?
Why do people care?
Don't you guys think it's weird that we don't know anything that's going on with that right now? Like,
I think it's
isn't it
very
weird that we don't know that that's not like.
What do you mean? What's but like
some of her emails have been leaked.
Okay.
So like, can we
Is
even
it
back
just-
up further? What emails have been leaked?
Yeah.
The ones that she erased off of that server.
Supposedly she erased like
What server?
30,000 plus
Dude, where have
emails.
you been, bro?
I don't turn on.
He doesn't
I
look at
know.
anything.
I hang out with Dax at night. Put
He
him
doesn't
down,
know
Dude,
and
this is
I
like
don't do that.
2013.
He doesn't even
bro.
know Hillary's last
13?
name.
Yeah, this
Holy
is.
He
shit!
doesn't even know Hillary's last name.
No, it's not 13. It was
Hillary George.
you know the whole big.
What's crazy? We saw Bill Clinton when we were in Little Rock. We went into his library and freaking.
Saw the wax setup of it.
No,
and
Marley
called
goes.
it.
He's just standing there, not moving. He's just like,
He was walking away.
so
She
left,
goes,
like,
I think that's him. I was like, no, it's the fucking not. We asked the person, like, is that him? They're like, oh yeah, that's Bill. I was like, Mr. Clinton, Mr. Clinton. It was
President
I
Clinton.
swear, it was fucking yeah. Well, she didn't call him president,
depends on who he's.
but at that time he was like,
I would say it depends on who wants.
No, once you're president, you're always considered president.
I know, but it's like
Bill. Hey, yo, Bill.
hey Willie. Fucking saw Bill Clinton.
But
He's a big
so
dude.
So I think
in a
it's-
nutshell of
You know
really
the Benghazi situation?
of really not knowing a whole lot.
They made a movie about
There's
it.
a really good movie. No. No, it actually I really liked the movie. But
What movie was it?
13 Hours.
Okay.
It's
Yes,
such-
I have seen that.
such a good movie.
Fuckers.
But I want to say basically she was the one in charge of Benghazi, and
She was Secretary of State.
didn't give him the
She makes a decision.
she didn't give him the help needed for when they needed it.
So Secretary of State is in charge of all the embassies.
Okay.
So
Embassies are
embassy was
guarded-
getting attacked.
Embassies are guarded by Marines.
Yeah.
And by contractors.
So embasy's getting attacked, and they didn't send help. And they didn't send help, right? That's like the
Why the fuck did they
in a
not send help?
super nutshell. They were getting attacked. They didn't send help.
They kept sending back saying,
send her
hey,
to-
this isn't fortified
What country
enough.
was this in again?
Benghazi, bro.
That's the country.
No.
I was gonna say that doesn't seem like a fucking country. It's the Benghazi country, dude.
Yeah, that's I mean, everyone knows the.
Everyone knows as I'm looking it up.
Everyone knows where this is at.
You bunch of clowns.
Yes. Oh, not spelling it right. Oh, there we go. Libya. There you go. Duh.
Duh.
Yeah, Libya.
But
Oh shit.
basically, they were sending emails saying, hey, we're not fortified enough. We don't have this. It's starting to get hostile.
Yeah.
She acted like she never got anything. She never sent help, and I want to say 9. Was it 9 or 9 people? I don't remember how many died. A ton of people died.
Injured. Well, this is injured. I don't know if
And
that's.
I want to watch.
and
that
then
movie
when
again.
they went to go indict her and what's it called, subpoena all of her emails, She erased
them all.
8,000 emails off a server.
Says
And she was using the server to connect to her home internet, which is completely against the law. So Sipper is a secret internet, which secret information gets sent on, and she connected her personal.
It says 4 Americans and 7 Libyans. Well, one of them was a senator for sure. That's like the big reason why.
He was drug out of his house.
So okay. Now that we know that, how does that link to coronavirus with Hillary?
Okay, so hold on.
We'd love to hear you eat while you're.
Yeah, please go closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Epstein.
What
What happened with Epstein? Isn't that weird that this is an individual that was connected to so many people at that level, was really close to Bill Clinton
And Trump.
and Trump? I agree. Yeah. No, 100%.
Not almost
Anybody that
everybody.
was elite, he was close with.
Yes.
No.
Wait, hold
Okay.
on, Jake. Do you know who it is?
Yes, I
Okay.
actually feel on this one.
Don't you think it's weird that all of a sudden
Surprisingly.
this dude could have gone and just spilled the beans on everything?
Oh no, I'm for sure he was totally killed. He was murdered.
Right.
in
So what
his-
about his chick that's in jail right now?
Yeah, why should she say anything?
No.
Is
she
she in jail?
has. No, son, she has.
I meant like actually, like I want her on.
There's so much out there that she has already come out and said, but nothing is being covered. She's already they're indicting people. There was a guilty plea already for the spying on Donald Trump. Like, there's so much stuff that's happening.
Okay, so what'd you say about Hillary?
So I think 100% she was behind the Epstein thing.
Hillary? Or the Clintons?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's just keep it at
The
C's.
foundation?
Yeah. I think people will disappear that she wants to disappear. Period. She was head of state. She was
Is she still
Seals-
causing shots?
absolutely.
What
Well,
is
there's
her
a lot
title?
of like there's that movie what's it called, American Made, about God, I don't know, it's Tom Cruise is in it. It's a true story about God, what the freak is his name? American Made. It's really good. It's a really good movie, and it's just strange. Yeah, Barry Seal. He was a pilot, and then he was recruited by the CIA to do like yeah. And he was dropping like
So look, our government will do stuff like that.
Yeah,
They
you
will hire a pilot.
They'll hire a pilot
to
that-
be a drug dealer, basically.
Yeah, he's like a drug mule,
But
just getting cocaine and bringing it over, and then dropping it into Arkansas, and then people would pick it up.
So we already know, and our government was doing
the
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is the shit that our government does. Like, so when they say all these things, like, you're telling me, when all this stuff came out, all you have to do is look. There was like 58 cruise lines that were out on ships that wouldn't let dock.
People off, yeah,
Right?
because they had the Rona.
So so in science, right? When we're in biology, what are you taught to do? You're taught to take whatever your sample is, put it in a petri dish, and then watch what happens. You have 58 fucking petri dishes out there. You'll know exactly what this virus does. If it kills everybody, it would kill everybody on that ship because it's contained. Why didn't we go off those numbers? All of those numbers were the exact same. They were all within like plus or minus 0.5. All of them, as in the contagion rate. They were all within the same one. But they kept saying, hey, it's so much worse, it's so much worse, it's so much worse. There is absolutely an agenda. Whatever the agenda is right now, the reason that
On both sides?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that both sides play this as, hey, it was just like what Obama used to do. He used to do legalize gay marriage. And then something really big would happen behind the scenes and nobody would know about it.
Like what?
Obamacare was one of them that was like, hey, you have to pay for health
Yeah.
insurance. All that got approved when gay rights had been, hey, you can have marriage, which they should be at any point. I think that's stupid at all, but
I think that's a different
conversation.
That's a whole
but
other
anyways,
conversation.
Not tackle that
but
one
Yeah.
tonight.
It's always a, hey, let's flash this and then we're gonna do something besides, and it's both sides.
Yeah.
So, what's big happening right now?
I mean, this would be a large flash. I mean,
It is a large flash. You don't know anything that's happening with Hillary Clinton right now because BLM and racism and COVID are so big right now.
But whose fault is that?
Media,
You know, okay, so it's the media's fault. So why?
100%.
So then why isn't
who's
Fox?
controlling the
Why
media?
isn't Fox News going hard on her then? Because they hate her so much.
Hard on her and what?
Exactly what you just said about like all the stuff that that Ghislaine Maxwell said.
That's how it's being leaked. You're getting people from Fox. You're getting people that.
But why aren't they just like? Why is that top headline all day, every day?
I bet you if you put on Fox News right now, it'll be something about what's going on behind the scenes. I would put money on it. They are the one that's doing it. But you got to understand, you got every other one that's not, that are mainstream told, hey, this is what you're going to focus on. Did you guys hear about the Netflix thing that was about to be released? The Cuties? Mm-mm. So Cuties was this documentary that was based on these like 10 and 11-year-old girls that were dancers. Yeah. And like one of the headlines was 10-year-old girl loves to twerk, blah, 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 blah. You see this like video girl and it's like, this is disgusting. You're sexualizing. And the apology from Netflix says, we apologize. We shouldn't have done this. We were basing this off a movie that was awarded an award at the Sundance Festival. Mm-hmm. And then it showed a cut, and it said, weird. CEO of Sundance Festival who awards prizes indicted on sexual abuse to a minor. And this award was given to this movie. So, that is something that's really happening. So you can put Clinton in with Jeffrey Epstein, and that's a really big thing that's happening right now, how it's all the lights being shined on all that. So now you have Hillary that's tied to her husband, which we can all see from the get-go that marriage has been for a while, and she's just Hillary. So, I mean, I think that there's a very strong chance that there's something way behind this, and it's not as bad as it's saying.
Well, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like what I learned from all this is gonna be weird. I guess not weird to say. I was like, I guess it must be really easy. Actually, it is because it's everywhere. It's like it's super easy to sex traffic kids. Like it's one of like I saw like a video. It's like money wise all over the world, like doing more than like drugs.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't have conversations like this because like I would.
It's horrible. Yeah. It's absolutely horrible. But like, how is this like how?
How is that not what we're all talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's mainstream media and everybody, I think Big Pharma and whatever.
But not what we're all talking about as well. But like, how can it be? It's like it's not easy, but like I don't know what to say. Like, how can it just like happen? Like, and no one says anything about it. That's the weirdest thing.
So I read today that a minor can be held up to 14 days without parents' acknowledgement during this coronavirus. They can be held for 14 days without parents.
Fuck no.
What do you mean? Like police can hold them?
Anybody, like a government official.
Oh, that's wild.
A child.
Where'd that come from?
That's
no,
crazy.
Hold on. Look.
Show me I need the details on that one.
It's on Wikipedia.
I have a certificate on it. I did a 12-hour training course. But yeah, there's so much going on right now. It's like, what's gonna? Like, let's say Ghislaine Maxwell says like Bill Clinton was there doing. You're walking away. Where are you going, bud?
Trying to get service.
Do you need service? You want to look on my phone? I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
But let's say Ghislaine Maxwell says like Bill Clinton was there with girls doing whatever. Like, what does that do? Like, do they just trust her on her word? And why did it take so long for her to get? Because she was hiding from everybody for a long time. She went to like a different country.
What are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay.
Let's say like she comes out right now and it says, I saw Bill Clinton in a room with girls doing whatever. Like, do they just automatically lock up Bill Clinton?
No. How could
do you trust her? Can you trust anything that she's saying?
Can children be detained without their parents' consent if authorities think they have coronavirus? As a part of Coronavirus Act, children can be detained for 14 days without their parents' consent, and their parents don't have to be informed. Only a teacher.
Where is this from?
Fullfact.org.
Yeah, I don't really trust that one right there. I find it very. Is this like? Did you get this link off of Facebook?
Yeah, it was on MySpace.
I think that's another thing too. Facebook and all those like
yeah,
that.
people, you can make anything news. All you gotta do is make a meme and be like, "This guy was the founder of this," and it's
like
factual.
It's like
people are stupid.
It's like I think it's also a problem too with like the whole Ghislaine Maxwell, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton thing. It's like if I want to believe that Hillary Clinton did something, and I click on it once, then everything that shows up is going to tell me that I believe my
algorithm of what you look at. Just like
it's going to confirm my bias.
Exactly, and everybody has a bias. So if you know that, like that part, like that's the hardest part of being an adult. You have to understand that everybody has that bias.
But
so yours could be this way, theirs could be the opposite.
I would say our parents don't really know that.
What do you mean?
I would say a lot of our parents don't understand that when I click on this one thing on the internet,
I agree.
It will show me everything that I want to believe.
Dude, technology is like fucking magic to my parents, man. It's like
they're gonna be like, hey, did you see that new law that just took effect? I could grab any kid that's 14 years or younger, and I can hold them for 14 days.
Yeah,
right.
Dude, there's some stupid people, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and you found, and it's gonna say a website that sounds kind of like it's gonna say
fullfact.org,
fullfact.government.ca. Like it's gonna be, it's gonna be like some
dot Hillary dot.
Hey, just kidding.
/forum.
Sorry, Hillary.
But I think that's another problem. Like it's like and because no one's at work right now. That's all they have time to do.
So you don't think that is a part of this? Like, you just said it. Nobody's at work. They got nothing to do. Everybody has a phone. Even Obama gave homeless people phones.
Yeah.
Like, so...
That was nice of him, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're giving them a compliment.
So
I'm proud of you.
Okay, so I actually had this conversation with somebody today. We're going to jump real quick, but how come it's more important for our country to take care of aliens than it is to take care of our veterans? And I'm not talking about myself because I truly am taken care of very well, but I know plenty that aren't. So, like, I don't understand how, and I speak from a very, very experience because my wife is an illegal.
Okay.
Not illegal. I'm sorry. She is a.
I'll cut that out.
Okay. You don't have to.
She's an alien.
She was illegal at one point because she got off of DACA, but then we did the process and she is now a green card and she has a visa. But so I have the experience in it, but I just don't understand how our veterans, the VA, do you know how difficult it is to get anything through the VA? It's unreal. It's so hard. It's difficult. It's lagged. There's forever. And you're telling me that illegal immigrants that get here get free schooling, free health care in California. Free health care in California. Any illegal immigrant can go up and just be like, I'm illegal.
Is the VA just healthcare?
Yes. VA medical is healthcare, yeah.
Okay.
But you got VA benefits. Like I have VA GI Bill. The GI Bill is through the VA, so they pay for me to go to school.
Okay.
So, no, there's other... I just proved
myself. I would say when most people say the VA, they're mostly talking about their healthcare, probably.
Yeah, that goes higher, like who's in charge of the VA, but it's bad. It's like, why aren't we taking care of those that are fighting for the freedoms? Like, it's so weird to me that we have individuals that we literally train to kill.
Yep.
Like, we train to kill to defend our country, and then we look at those individuals like they're animals. Well, what the fuck else do you want to protect you? You're not going to do it. So there's just thoughts of this where I don't believe the veterans should be taxed federally in any way, shape, or form. I think that should go away once you put your name on that dotted line, because 10% of the United States signs up for the military. Like 10%, you can't take 10% of the entire United States and say, hey, you guys don't have to pay taxes for federal. You guys served your time. You did your thing good. There's just so many avenues of this that how the fuck did illegal immigrants become more important than our own veterans?
In which way, though?
Medical care. Medical care. An illegal immigrant can go anywhere in California, anywhere, and they get free health care.
Mm-hmm.
Not a veteran. An American citizen can't walk to a hospital and say, hey, I'm a veteran and get free medical care.
What program is that on that they could do that?
Newsom just did it. He did it last year.
Shit.
Free medical health care for illegal immigrants. And guess who? Oh, that was my taxes that are paying for that. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
So just illegal immigrants. You can't be like homeless, have a problem.
No, it has to be illegal immigrants. So you can be homeless and say, hey, I'm a legal immigrant. I mean, play the system if you want. But no, illegal immigrants, absolutely. But like that, like how is that? Why hasn't there been
That's only in California?
Only in California. Newsom was the only one that did it.
Another reason why we all hate him.
But is Newsom in charge of the VA? Could he say like
No, that's a presidential, and then from there, but I mean, you got a governor that could start pushing it, but I mean, there's 50 of them.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get, especially Newsom's dumbass. He's not going to do it. So
what's really funny, when this coronavirus thing started, I feel like there was a lot. I feel it was Newsom, and then there was the New York governor Cuomo. Like when this thing first started. And then they were kind of going hardcore, like let's shut everything down and make sure we kind of
you got the two biggest states in the nation.
Let's shut it down, let's hold it down.
Not biggest,
and social media was all like these guys are the best. They know what they're doing. They're shutting everything down, and now everybody hates them for shutting it down again. So
well, yeah.
I honestly thought they were
once you released us,
yeah,
there was no way you were ever going to corral us.
I honestly thought there was like they can. Once they shut us down once, I'm like, okay, they can shut us down once.
It's not going to happen.
I was like, they can't do it again.
They can't.
Like, because people are going to get, like, they just can't.
They're just saying no.
Or their businesses aren't going to survive because of it.
Yeah.
And, now they're just like, you got people on all the corners of California, like, recall Newsom. No one likes Cuomo anymore. It's just crazy how it just, like, shifted.
The problem that I have with this is, okay, why are all the other states open and why aren't we? Look, I don't care if you want us to be safe. Like, it doesn't make sense that they're not fucking going crazy in their outbreaks because it's not fucking real. But they're not going crazy.
Coronavirus isn't real?
The coronavirus is real. That pandemic is not real. This is not a pandemic. It's a scare tactic. But that's, I mean, simple.
So you just think it was all... Where do you think it started? Like, there's the person, whoever ate the bat, hypothetically, that got it. And then you have...
It was created in a lab.
Or you have... It was created in a lab.
In America, and then taken to
See,
China.
I've never heard this one.
I heard it last week.
I heard, this guy told me last week.
Yeah, he did. It's crazy. Yeah, right here.
Did I?
Yeah, you were talking about this last week, but I
actually told one of my clients that. She's like, oh, yeah, that is what happened.
It is.
So
there
I'm
was
like,
a
all right.
scientist from America that was... He flew to China, and the outbreak happened in China, but they arrested the scientist, like, immediately.
Okay.
Like, he was arrested within, like, 2 days of the outbreak.
So why were they talking about a bat? Why was it always...
I've never heard of a bat.
You never heard that it came from a bat?
No.
That was the whole thing that I like. They were saying it came from a bat first, and then they were saying it came from the Wuhan, whatever.
It was man-made, and the crazy part is, I believe, don't quote me 100% on this because I'm not 100% there.
Fully
but
quoted.
I believe that there was a part where Fauci has spoken about a COVID-19 in like 2016. There was like a whole strain of something that was being looked at or something that, like.
But aren't they probably already looking at COVID 20, 21, 22? Like, shouldn't they already be prepared for whatever the next thing is? Like, if that's
COVID-19 was named after the year that it happened in 2019.
I know, but what I meant, like, they should technically be kind of...
Someone that really was like, you didn't understand what happened with COVID-17 and 18?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think this lady knows
Yeah.
this was made after the year.
I'm saying, like, shouldn't, like, aren't they... Because I think also before all this happened, mostly everybody agreed what the CDC would always say. Now no one trusts the CDC.
Okay, so there is a problem with there is so much information and so much bad information that nobody knows what's the right information.
Yep.
I also believe that is a tactic. I believe that was on purpose. I think it's so much propaganda that's pushed out there that you have no idea where the truth is.
Of course.
But why do they want you to know the truth?
But who?
Exactly.
Who's they?
I don't know.
Yeah. Who's they?
Government for sure.
Yeah.
It's just who in the government. I don't know. I don't think
for what reason. Like, but
I think that it would be amazing for 10 years from now, there'd be a documentary on how amazing Donald Trump was as a president and what he did and like the things that nobody saw and how he did and how he fought everything. And then it's just like, dude, nothing was his fault. Like I have this feeling that it's just all being orchestrated in a way. Look, I used to be extremely manipulative. So I know, like, when I'm pushing a subject, it feels like I'm being pushed into something right now. Like, we're all getting, like, fucking herded like sheep right now. And I don't like it. I don't like wearing a mask. I don't understand it. It's been proven that it doesn't even fucking work. Motherfuckers, it doesn't work. Why the fuck am I wearing it? Because you feel better? Fuck you.
Why is Trump wearing it?
When? When does he wear one?
You didn't see his tweet where he says, I wear a mask?
Why?
Yeah,
You're
why?
the fucking president. You have to at this point.
Why?
Because...
It doesn't sound like that should be in the documentary.
No, you're going to get to the point where it's like, hey, dude, you need to fucking wear it because the entire fucking country will turn on you.
Exactly.
It comes to a point where it's not about fucking anything other than, hey.
It's people's perceptions.
Exactly. So that's my whole entire point. I know you don't like to wear it, but the perception is like you're actually trying to care.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I'm being forced to look like I care because I don't. I've done enough research to go, this isn't even as bad as the flu. So why the fuck are we acting like it's a pandemic?
But the thing about the research is you don't even know what's real and
No,
what's
you
not.
do. All you got, and that's why I brought up the Petri dishes. So if you go out and look at all those cruise lines, all those, all the ships that the Navy were in, all the ones that they kept in, why didn't everybody die on them? Because this isn't what they're saying it is. This virus is nowhere near what they're saying. Can it affect certain people? Yeah. So can pneumonia. Certain people are going to get pneumonia and they're going to die.
I know, but what does that prove about the mask?
It doesn't. Nothing. What I'm saying is this virus is not what they're saying it is.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
This whole mask thing and wearing a mask, it's proven to not stop the virus. So if
I'm
it's
just
not
saying
stopping
about, like-
the virus, why the fuck are we wearing it?
So who do you trust then?
I'm just saying circle back
Myself.
Okay.
I trust looking into the data that is provided, the accurate data.
But how do
to...
you,
But how do you know it's
trust that?
accurate? We're just talking about the internet being...
Because you can look up multiple, and if you can get more than 3 or 4 sources that all have the same numbers, and the R naught number is the contagion rate. If you can get multiple sources that are all on the same page saying, hey, this is what it really is, and then you got media that's like, nope, it's the pandemic, it's the deadliest thing. Here's another thing. Have you ever seen fucking gas masks? Okay. So let's just go with, I'm just going to go with the basic gas mask.
Okay.
Has to have a full seal so that I do not
Breathe
get
in.
whatever it is.
Yep.
You're telling me a fucking piece of fabric is going to save my life from the pandemic?
No.
Fuck you.
Well, I would say
why the fuck am I
I
wearing
said
it?
the same thing. Does the disease magically fall to the ground at 5 feet 11.5 inches?
I think it does.
Think,
Yeah, he's scared of heights.
But like that kind of shit, like exactly what we're talking about right now, I dig deeper into because that kind of shit blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
the fact that they're wearing fucking masks in a bubble
Yeah.
blows my fucking mind. None of you have tested positive. You're all breathing the same fucking air. Nobody's allowed.
What if someone did then? What if they wore no mask and someone tested positive?
Then reintroduce the mask 100%. That makes sense. But you're telling me that these individuals.
But now you're telling someone now you're telling all of them look,
it's
you don't
proven.
don't have to wear a
Okay,
mask.
for the first 2 weeks, wear masks.
But no, like I just said, what if someone gets it?
But they won't. They can't. If what they're saying is, hey, we've taken every precaution. Nobody comes in and out of this bubble. It's sealed. Nobody leaves. If nobody's leaving, nobody's coming in and out. And everybody's detected every day. Why the fuck am I wearing a mask on the fucking sidelines when everybody else isn't? And then I'm going to go into the fucking back room. I'm going to take it off. Like,
Talking about, yes, I read
Oh,
that
the
last
announcer.
night.
The announcer.
did you hear what he said?
He said fig. but with an A.
FAG capital. Of the United
Oh, I was like, are you okay?
He said it's the
Cam, are you drunk?
He said fig, but
He
with
said
an A.
it's the
Oh, figs.
Yeah.
Those are really tasty.
Yeah.
He said this is
Yeah.
one of the FAG capitals of the world or of the United States or something like that, and didn't even know he was on.
See, that's a little
And he
different.
got
It's
to
like,
finish the game too.
Why
He's
would
like,
you say that?
I'm probably never gonna do this
Okay,
again,
but hold on.
and there goes
So do
a
you
home
think
run.
that this guy? Okay, time out. So do you think this?
Damn.
Do you think this guy should be like let go, released, everything? This guy's had an amazing career.
I know, I read up on it.
This guy is
Yeah.
incredible. He's one
He's
of the
been, like,
best
the
there
longest-
are. Yeah.
yeah.
And this individual, mind you, did he have a lapse in judgment? 1,000,000%.
Yes.
He didn't look. His job is to be a sports announcer. His job is not to be
Yeah.
politically
He's
correct.
not a human
and
rights
he didn't know.
activist. He's not-
right.
yeah.
So this was.
Well, that's not a good excuse.
Okay, but hold on. But I agree with that. Don't get me wrong. I still think that there's an error there. I
Yeah.
still think that there's a fault. But you're telling me that this dude's entire career should now be over because of one mistake?
I don't think it should be. I think it's severe. He certainly messed up.
Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe there should be a punishment. I don't know if it's the whole cancel culture. This guy should never work again. Day
Which
in his
is
life.
what's going to happen. You can't
yeah.
in this day and age.
Yeah.
There's no way this dude's job is still alive.
No,
At all.
Probably
not
not.
in this day and age.
Probably not. And it's like, and the biggest problem is I don't own that company. I would think entirely different if I owned it and that guy said it. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's money.
yeah,
Yeah, you're a statistic and
Yeah.
you're a dollar sign.
yeah. It's pretty. It's not like
Sad
hard to
world
think
we
about.
live
It's
in.
like you said that. You can't say that. You can't be here. It's.
I don't like that. I don't like that because
People are just soft and
exactly
sensitive
certain
today.
things that I can't say. Why? Because it's someone's feelings. Like that kind of shit is exactly like sticks and stones, right? Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words will never hurt you. Yes, words hurt, but when the fuck do words become like legal action and shit? That's dumb. The fact that you're hurt or you don't like this name or you don't like okay, why do I have to fucking worry about? I have this thing with.
What about gender pronouns?
Yeah, let's do that, motherfucker. Why the fuck is it on me? Why the fuck is it on me to have to change your pronouns? Like, why should I have to know that? Now, you want to come out and tell me right away, hey, this is what I want to go by? Yo, to each their own. Whatever floats your boat. I'm all about it.
Yep.
But how fucking dare you get mad at me
Yeah.
for where I was taught respect in the military was sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
I do that out of respect. I don't do it as I'm trying to call you a name. Like that's what I was taught.
Yeah.
But for me to have to change your pronoun because of how you feel, bitch, that's how you feel. I don't know you.
Yeah.
And you don't know me. Like you don't know if I feel a certain way. Like
Yeah.
I'm so lost on I feel this way, so you should have to. That just doesn't add up to me.
I always had like when it came to it, like, do you have to look the part to feel the part?
I guess why does it fucking matter?
Do you get what I mean by that? Like
looking green and say, "Hey, I'm
if I-
purple today."
If I feel like hypothetically I want to be called she, or I don't know what the thing is, like I want to be called
Her.
Is
she,
that why we're here
she her.
tonight?
I want to be called she her. Like, do I have to look the part as well, or can I just feel it? I'm the same with you. It's like if you want to be called she her, I'll call you she
yeah,
her.
but like what I'm saying on that though is like I mean, my sister is full on from the moment. I mean, I've known that my sister was gay from like really early in my life, and she finally came out like her senior year in high school. But like in my family, and I guess this is just embedded in me because I don't care what you are.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. I don't care color. I don't care gender. I don't care race. I don't care what you are.
Same.
What I care about is respect is one, but two is like I don't do you. Like do whatever makes you happy. And just don't be disrespectful. Like to me, to my family, to anything that has to do with me. And I will respect you. I will do whatever you want. Just don't have expectations of me that I don't even know. And then get mad at me because I will fucking lose my shit on you. I don't care what you are. And yeah, that kind of stuff is just unfucking real.
That could go for a while. I've never how do I say it? I never had it happen to me. I never come out. I never.
I have.
Want to be called she?
Yeah. I've never met somebody who I said like he or something, and it's like it was supposed to be she, and like they stopped me like, hey, no.
Is that like a thing these days or what?
Yeah.
I hadn't happened yet to me, so I don't know. The whole, FAG and this is gay and stuff like that. It's like, man, that's how we grew up, though. It's kind of hard to just.
I love
times
that you just
change.
said that. I want to ask you a question. So
Yeah.
we've all seen. Have you seen The Last Dance?
The
Michael
Last
Jordan.
Dance.
The Michael
Oh,
Jordan.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you just said we grew up on saying these words.
Didn't he say it in it?
No. So this is what. Do you know how amazing that editor had to be?
Oh, to take out everything they used to say.
All those words.
No, dude, he was perfect.
No. Do you I seriously? I was sitting there.
Just like his finals record,
Never
baby,
done
6-0.
Just unbelievable how many that was like the everyday word.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was just like part of your vocabulary back then. And the thing is, I don't even know when it stopped. Like, I don't remember when it was like,
hard stop.
like it just like hard stop.
Hard
Like
stop was like no, it was like our sophomore year.
No, it was.
It was like our sophomore year
February
in high school.
4th of 2006.
No, the reason I know this, I had an individual that I went to junior high with. He is a drag queen and phenomenal at it now. But dude,
Where's
I grew
the
up
evidence?
his name was Troy. I don't know what he goes by now. But I remember we got into a heated discussion at one point, and after that, and that was like freshman year, and I didn't use it. I just told him we just got into a heated conversation, and after that, I guess it kind of just disappeared. And knowing my sister was gay my whole life, I don't know, it's never been a thing. It's not like something that I was like, oh, but I just think people just need to be happy. So I could care less what you are, but I don't think that I should have to fucking call you by a pronoun that I don't even fucking know exists. Purrid. What was I gonna tell? Remember the story I was gonna tell you? You said save that for.
Oh, yeah, Cameron said save it.
what?
No. Me and you, we were talking out here on the couch.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you were talking about something on Facebook,
man.
and I said save it right before we started this. I don't remember what you were talking about though.
And I had told him to save something too on the couch. He had two things to save, and now he got all worked up.
We can do it on another day.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty good one. How long do you think we've been talking?
Probably about an hour and 45 minutes.
Close. Hour 37. Not bad. There's so much, I feel like everything that we talked about could be spread, for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, let's not, man.
Okay.
Let's talk about happy stuff.
Let's do the last 15 minutes of this, or last 20 minutes of this. Let's go into what's the funniest. It was something funny. I know it was.
I know it was something funny.
I just can't think. Let's tell you the funniest thing that you saw this week.
The funniest thing that I saw this week?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
All right, what's the funniest movie you've seen this week, or show that just fucking had you rolling?
I've just been rewatching old stuff like New Girl, The Office,
Dude,
all those things.
What a great show.
Or just like watching Tom Segura or something like that. Just watching old stuff.
Okay. What about you? What's the funniest thing that even happened this week?
Happened?
How many more clients have you gotten since my first podcast with you?
2 million.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, too many.
And if I don't
You have to
have
be
any,
a coach now.
and if I don't have any sponsors by now, I'm here to say
I'm here to say
How many people?
that I have plenty of room during these podcasts for any sponsors that want to come over here and take 30 seconds out of my time so I can plug whatever they want to get plugged in. Absolutely. I got a carpet guy over here, so if you need your carpet done in Arizona, please call.
California. I'm here for 2 years.
It's
for 2 years.
2 years in California,
2 years.
and you're gonna call who? To get your carpet done?
King's Cleaning.
King's Cleaning.
King's Cleaning.
So if you want all your carpet needs done, please call King's Cleaning.
There you go.
And then I'm pretty good at these. And then if
Hey, sponsors, let's take a minute and let's think about who you want to read these.
And for all your fitness needs, you're gonna go to All In Mentality. They got some dope t-shirts
good.
now.
So
that's gonna be located in Costa Mesa. So both of those sponsors usually come at $100 a piece per 30 seconds, but those two were free. So if you like the way that would sound, please hit me up because I need your money because I want to do this for a living. So I could take up as much time as you like, and just hit me up on Instagram at Gettin a Gun so I can get all of your money. Thank you.
So how many followers do you have right now? That actually listen to the podcast.
He just kicked it off.
Tens
right?
of tens.
Tens of tens.
You don't even. I don't want to give the exact number, but tens of tens.
Maybe 11s.
Yeah.
10 times 10?
I'm sorry, did you add an S?
But if the more people that share this, the more people that will know about this. So
I forgot to share it.
So
God
the-
damn.
I told my dad I'm sending this to him as soon as he was like, "Really, you're gonna go do a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah."
yeah, the
He was
more.
like, all right. Send it
So
to me."
if you're listening to this, whatever you're listening to it on, copy it and share it to whoever you want
Yep.
to listen to it. Because the more people listen to this,
Can we do something funny now? Like, I need to laugh. Like, we've been.
Well, that was dark, man.
No, that's why I don't want to be dark.
well,
You
that's what's-
guys made
but
that
that's-
shit
But that's what's
dark.
happening in the world right now. It's all freaking.
Yeah, but
I just don't like to consume myself because, like you did, like we know these things. Well, I don't know them until you tell me.
Yeah, I don't know
but,
about this wee shit.
But
man.
what the fuck good does that do you to like know all this shit? Like it doesn't for me.
So this is just recent information because I told you guys before this week I was
Yeah.
completely blissed. Like I don't fucking know anything.
I
Leave
just
me
don't
alone.
care
I
to
have my
know. I mean,
thoughts.
call it ignorant, but like fuck, dude, I got shit to worry about. Like I just want to stay in my lane with my family, do my thing, and just live a simple life. I'm not gonna fucking. What am I gonna indict Hillary? Am I gonna? Fuck no. Why should I care about it?
So this is why I care about it. I only care about it because the kind of shit that has happened. I'm a big fairness guy. I truly believe in fairness. I think that everything should come out fair, and if it doesn't, I think that's where our government should be. It should be when things aren't fair. It should come in and be like, hey, this is fair. The fact that somebody can do all this shit and get away with it is really, really difficult to live in a country where that's acceptable. And we're starting to realize that a lot of shit is acceptable in this country that nobody really understood was. And I think
like teachers who fail their kids.
I mean, fuck, dude, we don't even know how many kids are gonna fail because their parents are fucking trying to teach them right now.
Oh,
Dude, it's bad.
I'm one of them. Shit, that's gonna be crazy.
It's so like, and how do they expect like my 6-year-old nephew to know how to work a Zoom call? Is the other crazy part of what's going on
Look,
now.
so here's I'm gonna throw one more thing at you guys. How many children deaths from COVID?
Oh God,
Oh yeah,
none. Not one kid has died, right? You're gonna
There
tell me
has
that-
been
There's
7.
There has not been one kid in the
Minus
entire
6.
U.S.
No,
that
there's
has not
one
died.
baby.
One.
One baby that's died from it, but it wasn't from. They annotated as a COVID death, but mother had complications from COVID, but they still call it a death. So, but why are we stopping kids from going to school? China's already back in school. It started in that motherfucker.
Wuhan had a giant party. Did you see that picture? They had a giant pool party,
Damn.
like a giant concert pool party.
That's cool.
In Wuhan.
Yeah, in Wuhan. Like you can look it up. There was like a giant
Like a Vegas pool party.
dude. They're all on rafts. They're all just like on rafts, just like
Cool as shit, dude.
so.
That's. I mean, you got to get it where you can get it.
Yeah, but that was fun.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
Like I said, we could do this a lot longer, but we could save all of it for another time.
Yeah, I think we should do this either once a week or once every 2 weeks, and we should do it. Just make us have to get together.
I might get too popular to come
Might
here
get-
every week. Like I
May
said,
have 20s of 20s.
20,
We can
it's
also-
gonna go from 10s to 10s to 20s to 20s.
We can also rotate too.
many
we
people.
Come, one week we'll come out here. Next week we'll go to mine.
Yeah.
The other week we'll go to yours. That
Yeah.
way we all
be
go
cool.
to different places.
Yeah, and then get it done. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, if you did listen to this, please share it to everybody that you can so we can get more people listening to this, because the more people we get, the more sponsors I get, and the more sponsors I get, the more money I get. I appreciate it. Love you guys.